Hello and welcome to your worst nightmare, another RPG actual play podcast. Solotude, a journaling RPG podcast, is just me in a room, not to brag, with a journal, a solo RPG, and some damn good coffee. I play to see what happens in the story, write in my fictional journal, and you get to hang out next to me by the fire. So welcome, I hope you enjoy our time together. This is Solotude. We do what in the shadows? So, I have before me, open, the Wikipedia page for 1582, which is the year we're currently on. The most interesting thing that happens around this time of the year is in Japan. June 21st is when the warlord Oda Nobunaga is assassinated in Kyoto. And that has absolutely no bearing on Guido's life, other than his name kind of sounds like Kyoto. Maybe there's a large influx of disgraced Nobunaga samurai who are traveling to the Western countries. It's highly unlikely and historically inaccurate. But hey, so is Holy Ball, so who the fuck cares? I would like to incorporate some historical stuff, but there's not a lot happening in the summer of 1582, especially in northern Italy, where we're in right now. But hey, now you know. Let's get into the game. Do we have to recap something? I'll just do a very quick recap on my resources and stuff like that. The characters I've written down are, the mortal ones are Garibaldi and Veronica. We haven't seen Veronica yet at all. Veronica is the smuggler who sold Guido a lot of jewelry and stuff, and Guido owes her quite a bit of money, so I'm sure the debts will follow Guido at some point. There's the secret cabal cult. We didn't name any of the members, or I didn't name any of the members intentionally. It's just your run-of-the-mill elderly holy ball cult. You know? One of those. I know Hollywood has done it over and over again. With the immortals, I have Angelique de Boulangerie, the Parisian noble vampire. And I also, the rulebook didn't make me do it. I did this of my own accord. Can you believe it? I wrote down as a character, an immortal character, Giuseppe the Giant, which was the Jigsaw Frankenstein holy ball player that they space jammed our guys' holy ball skills into. The recap is already weird. I love it. What else? Skills, we have a few marked ones. We haven't used Bloodthirsty, Sexual Mastery, or the new one, Hypnosis. Resources, we still have unmarked Beauty and the Secret Cabal. And those are what we're going to be working with. We're currently at prompt 8, and I'm going to roll. Let's see where we end up. It's 1 minus 5. Oh, shit. 4 backwards? So from 8, we move back to 4. Hey, we've done 4 twice already. So the third stage is the Secret Cabal. Without your knowledge, performs a dark ceremony that changes a mortal character into a horrific alien and immortal thing. Convert a mortal character into an immortal enemy? What alien objectives does this new immortal pursue? Did the Cabal manipulate you into helping with this creation? How does this change your relationship to the Cabal? Well, the obvious answer would be that they somehow turn Garibaldi against me. I don't like this, since I kind of already did this. I mean, not exactly, but they already created an immortal character, and they are my enemies, or they're not my friends. They're using me, and they're not helping me. They're antagonists. I don't like this. Don't tell Tim Hutchings, but I'll just ignore this and re-roll, because it's not a fun one, because it's too similar. So it's a 7 and a 4, which, if we're at 8, 3, right? Yes, 3, so 11. How do you find solace from the raging hunger within you? You may lose one checked or unchecked skill. This works. I feel like the prompts we've done have been very plotty, or like story heavy. This would be a nice chance to kind of take it easy for a while and not worry about where things are going and enjoy the present. The way we ended last time was that Guido is kind of getting frustrated. He doesn't like being in the position he is in, where everybody seems to be using him. Everybody comes up with a way to get something from him. Angelique wants to use him against the Z family in Paris. The Secret Cabal wants to use him, or already is using him, to space jam their way into the championship. He has only been hiding and doing everybody else's bidding. So for the frustration he's experiencing, I can see how he would need solace, how he would need to find something that's his own. That's not for anybody else, not even for Garibaldi. It's just for himself. I also feel like the way the last journal entry went is Guido is starting to feel distance to Garibaldi. I know the way I've written Garibaldi is not the most attractive young man, but there's something to him. He's a predictable man who worships Guido, and, well, not really even Guido, just the monster in him. And that's fine for Guido for now. I don't think there's a deep emotional connection between them. At least not until Garibaldi will agree to wear pants, which is never. If there's one thing about Garibaldi, okay, it's the poor hygiene. He can't help it. He has a condition. But the other is he will not wear pants. That's his one thing. He's a man of principle, and that's the only principle he has. It's a no pants household. Where was I? Yes. Yes, this is fun. I like this. So again, it's how do you find solace from the raging hunger within you? You may lose one checked or unchecked skill. So I just recapped the skills, or the unchecked ones. The checked ones are music composition or holy ball spiker. Well, those are integral parts of his persona and identity. He's not going to give up music, balls, or God. God isn't a skill he has, but it's just something he really believes in. So there's sexual mastery, bloodthirsty hypnosis. You know what? Since this is about Guido, his identity, his relationship with Garibaldi, I want to focus in on that. No world building, no plotty outside stuff. It's an introspective journal entry. We haven't had one of those. I want to write one where I don't have to explain stuff or do a lot of exposition. I just want to get in Guido's head and have him describe what stuff feels like. So there's the raging hunger, which he hasn't found a healthy way to express. I wonder if there's vampire psychotherapy. You know, there should be a healthy way to express your raging hunger. I don't know if that was French or German. I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. It's the coffee. I just had a shitload of coffee. And I blame the coffee makers of Finland. What if he lost the holy ball skills? There's been a lot of focus on the holy ball stuff, and I like it. I want to keep it in, and I want to build towards whatever climax that's going to. But what if he loses his skills? Oh, yes. I want to write like a psychotherapy session. So the next journal entry would be, or the entry for this would be like a therapy session with Garibaldi and Guido. Yes, that will flesh things out nicely. And that's where Guido realizes practicing the forms, the basic movements of holy ball, as designed by the muscled hair, the fiend of Vienna himself, it really ignites his bloodthirst. It makes him go crazy. It makes him want to bite people, and it makes him want to tear people apart. Since he can't really tear the ball apart, except with Garibaldi, of course, since the cult is space jamming him. So he gives it up. He decides to give up his holy ball skills to Giuseppe the Giant completely. Not like they've been harvesting his or extracting his skills every night for a while, but he doesn't want it back. It gives him calm. He still has the knowledge. He could still be a coach one day or something like that, but he gives up his spiking skills. So through psychotherapy, behavioral or cognitive, we'll see. And after he's done with holy ball, he's free. I'd suppose he's free of the cult as well, or at least he's free to go to Paris, which is something I really want to do, because I want to get the years going. I don't want to get stuck in our guy's 20s for a long time. I really want to get the clock going. So with the cult's hunger appeased, I think he's gonna feel free. He's gonna feel free to move around. He's still gonna kill people, but he's gonna be professional about it. I mean, do you get bloodthirst when you eat a chicken? If you do, seek help. Psychotherapy can help you. And with that, I think the first prompt is done. So let's move on to the next one. It's a 6 and a 7, so that's one step forward. To prompt number 12. New laws or social mores, make it harder for you to hide among the populace. How are you nearly caught and destroyed? Check a skill, create a mortal criminal who assists you. Perfect. Fucking perfect. Yes. I think this makes it super easy for Guido to move. This is exactly the kind of stuff I wanted. We can make this work very nicely. We'll move Guido to Paris, which is a natural way to bring about new laws or social mores. And he has a hard time blending in, especially since he's blending into the aristocracy. I already mentioned before that there's the religious wars happening in France, and they're still going on for over 10 years from now. So reading up very quickly, it seems that England and the Dutch Republic are backing the Protestants, and Spain is supporting the Catholics. Yes, makes sense, and probably makes sense for... Well, I'm not sure if I ever made a decision on whether Guido is Catholic or Protestant. Catholicism would be the obvious choice, probably. Yeah. So he's going to be on the Spain side instead of the English. It's funny that the monastery was full of volleyball playing English Catholics in Italy. Who cares? Weird stuff happens in the world all the time. Fiction shouldn't be any different. How are you nearly caught and destroyed? So I need to check a skill. So I use some kind of a skill to get out of being caught and destroyed. And through the ordeal, I kind of gain a new perspective. And there's a mortal criminal who assists me. Guido is almost caught. Okay, let's take a step back. They get to Paris, and it's a full-blown religious war. It's ideologically and politically very tense. There's new laws about not being able to go outside, or like there's a curfew for a while, and that makes life harder for vampires since they do have to get out at night. Makes it harder to hide among the populace. They have to. Guido will have to hunt. Will have to keep on going outside and taking bigger and bigger risks just to survive. He's caught when feeding by like a politician, like a bigwig of some sort. I'll check the skill Bloodthirsty. I'm nearly caught, but I murder his entire family. Okay, he's okay. Yes, I know what to do. I'm not gonna murder his fucking family. I'm gonna take over the family. Okay, so yes, let's do this. The mortal criminal who assists me is somebody who's getting me people to eat. This is somebody, Angelique hooked me up with somebody, and Angelique says that there's too much heat right now, we can't move with the family wars. I don't want to write a bunch of lore right now about the family wars, so Angelique will ease us into the aristocratic society. So there's a local criminal who arranges food for the vampires. There's not a lot of vampires because they wouldn't be able to keep it secret. But at least in the Boulangerie family, there's some. And maybe in the Z family, maybe I don't want to get into what they are yet. I want to play to find out. I don't want to have any plans for them. The criminal who assists me arranges for me somebody to eat in a quiet place, and I stick my bitey-bites in their neck and begin sucking. That's when a local merchant or a minor noble or something walks in and witnesses it happening. I kill him, checking Bloodthirsty, and I raid his home, and I'm about to kill his wife. It's just the two of them. The wife is young. The nobleman I killed, also young. I'm about to kill her in my bloodthirst when I don't. Guido strikes a deal with her that Guido is going to take the dead guy's identity. Guido is going to try to get into the nobility that way. And maybe Angelique encourages this. Maybe Angelique said that Guido needs more time to ease into the aristocracy. So he's just gonna fucking create a noble family. So I checked Bloodthirsty. I gain a skill, family man. Aristocrat? No, that's more of a resource. Being a good husband. I'm gonna do that. So he gains the skill of being a good spouse, being a good husband. Maybe it was like an arranged situation where the wife did not care too much about the dead guy, and she's not happy about the way things went, but Guido is going to be respectful. I want the skill of being a good husband. Guido is going to be respectful. He's going to be there for her, and he's going to find a way to make things work. Do I want it to be a noble or a merchant? Let's make it a noble, because that makes sense, right? It makes more sense. It ties in nicely with the Z family and the Boulangerie family stuff, so let's do that. That's how we're gonna roll. So Guido became a nobleman by murdering a dude and taking his family. and, and I'm not going to make a skill called aristocrat or anything to do with that. No, I'm a good husband. That's what I am. That's what I value. That's always been my thing. I'm going to support my wife in whatever she goes through. Like consoling her when her husband accidentally died in a violent decapitation accident. This is what these fantasy games are good for, right? Heightened reality. Imagine being a good spouse. Wow. Who fucking cares about vampires if you can have a happy relationship? What does Garibaldi think of this? Is Garibaldi gonna move in with us? I mean, he's gonna have to. But I think at this point, Guido is gonna feel like Garibaldi is kind of a pain in the ass. Garibaldi will pose as like a brother or a cousin who's in there to help out. But wait. Oh, I just had a lovely idea. What if, since we're gonna have to move some memories around, I'm gonna give myself a new memory for the becoming a family man, because that feels like it doesn't, like building a legacy. Yeah, I think building a legacy is a good one. That's the memory and the experience under it. Welby murdered a guy, just ate a guy, and stole his identity as a minor nobleman. I have a wife. She's a powerhouse of a noble woman herself, and I feel like Guido's and her goals are aligned. They both want to make this noble thing work. They both want to get out of the minor leagues. And I'm just gonna stick the first one, the giving up my holy ball skills to be free of the bloodlust and free of the cult too. I'll just put that in the, which was originally called traveling for holy ball tournaments, but which I've treated as the general holy ball one. So that's full now with 3 experiences. Which means that I'm going to move some stuff around, so my diary now has my childhood, learning music, and codependency on Garibaldi. So now we're slowly getting into the meat of the game, or the thing that really interests me. We're delving into the forgetting stuff. Our guy doesn't remember being abandoned. Oh, of course, he never remembered being abandoned, but what I had in the memory of childhood is learning the ropes of the monk life. So he doesn't remember that anymore. He can only read that from his diary. He doesn't remember learning music from Father Augusto. But the big one, he's forgotten the first experience of fucking the shit out of Garibaldi and the fight they had, and also moving to Firenze with Garibaldi and living as street musicians. Guido doesn't remember this. As far as Garibaldi goes, I like it that he's living in the moment. The only thing he currently remembers about Garibaldi is that he fucking lost his holy ball skills because of that shit. So I think we're gonna turn the screws on Garibaldi sooner than I thought, but it's good. I like that. So maybe when they move to Paris, it's not a joyous thing. I think he's gonna do something terrible with Garibaldi. There's no love there anymore, which is kind of sad because that's why Guido gave his skills up, is to rekindle the love or find the love that he feels Garibaldi doesn't express. Maybe it was never there. So Guido is gonna do something terrible. This is good. This is very good. Maybe Guido is gonna lock Garibaldi up. Just put him in the attic or in the basement and just keep it for safekeeping. Because he can't let Garibaldi go. No, Garibaldi is his. And Guido will probably take his frustrations out on Garibaldi, since The only thing he remembers about Garibaldi is the frustration. Yes, the memory mechanics are at work, baby. Yes, I like this. I really, really like this. And the new laws and social mores are about that it's hard to go out at night, and there's a curfew in place because of all the crazy religious people doing a violence upon each other. This is what we're gonna do. These are our 2 entries for today. We got some psychotherapy with Garibaldi, and then we moved to Paris and gained a family. We're a family guy. I want to get things moving. This is the next episode. I hope we'll get some prompts that'll make it easy for us to do a jump of a few decades, maybe. I don't want to jump into centuries immediately, but decades I would like to do. I'd like to get a broader perspective on stuff. And most importantly, while all this is going on, Oda Nobunaga dies. Assassination. Maybe by a vampire. Who knows? Maybe that'll turn out to be the single most important thing to happen in this campaign. Is that's gonna tie everything neatly together in a beautiful package of secret vampiric history. I doubt it, but who the fuck cares? We're playing to find out. That's what the kids are doing these days, and so am I. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next week. Bye. Thanks for listening, folks. My name is Auri Itämäki, and Solotude is my personal project. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Additional episode music and sound effects courtesy of Epidemicsound. Theme song courtesy of me. You can follow Solotude on Instagram at SolotudeShow. And if you got something to say, drop a message or comment. I'm still absolutely figuring out the exact format of the show, so I'd be delighted to hear your ideas and suggestions on where to take it. I'd like to implement some stuff I didn't think of. So please tell me what to do, and I'll do it. No hypnosis required. Also, please rate and review the show so people can find it a little bit easier. I don't have a budget, I don't have a plan, it's just me playing a game on mic. So it would be awesome if more people found the show. Solotude drops every week. Every other week there's an actual play episode, and on the off weeks I'll do a proper journal reading with music, sound effects, the whole deal. So you can enjoy Solotude as an actual play podcast or as an audio drama if you prefer to just listen to the journal entries. Or probably the best experience is to do both. Up to you, I don't know. I'm not gonna check hypnosis on you just yet. So thanks for listening, folks, and see you next week. Bye!